My ambition is to plant a church within walking distance of every unreached village on the planet. Why? Because the local church is the hope of the world. Now, why would I say that? I mean, isn't Jesus the hope of the world? Well, a church planted in a place, a city, a village, a community, a neighborhood, is the most compelling expression of Jesus that people will ever see. In Colossians 1:27, the Apostle Paul said that through the church, God has chosen to make known among the lost the glorious riches of this mystery, which is Christ in you. In the Greek text of the New Testament, the you is plural, which means Christ in the church, the hope of glory. Sending a missionary church planter is the primary passion of the Petros Network. In the last 10 years, we have planted over 6,000 churches that have preached the gospel to over 5 million people and have led over 1.1 million people in unreached villages to faith in Jesus Christ. And the testimonies coming from these churches are like what believers in the book of Acts experience: signs, wonders, miracles, even resurrections from the dead. Yeah, even people being raised from the dead. We heard one of the most incredible testimonies, miracle stories from one of our new church planters last year when we were in eastern Ethiopia. This place is next to the border of some very difficult places: Somalia, Djibouti, Eritrea, close to the Saudi peninsula. And he had gone into this village. He had built a very humble structure to house believers once they came to know Jesus. But he hadn't won anyone to Jesus yet. Well, one day, a family of 60 people, a very large extended family, was walking down the road by his church. They were carrying the body of the dead matriarch of this clan over their shoulders. She had died that day. They were going to bury her that day. Well, as they walked by the church, suddenly this woman came back to life. This dead woman came back to life. Well, obviously the people were stunned. They'd never heard or seen or experienced anything like this. So all 60 of them went into the building, and the church planter happened to be there. And they asked him, what kind of magic is taking place in this building? And he said, no magic to it. This is the power of God. And he was able to share with them the story of God's saving grace through belief in Jesus Christ by faith. And all 60 people came to know Jesus that day. They gave their hearts to the Lord. Wow. And in an instant, the church was born. The local church, the collection of God's people in a specific place, brings the hope of glory to the world because it's the most compelling expression of God's love and God's grace and God's power. It's the conduit of healing, deliverance, restoration of marriages, reconciliation between people, and yes, even literal resurrections from the dead. I would encourage you to visit our website and sign up for our Petros Network newsletter. We want to keep you up to date on these modern day miracle stories that are happening like crazy over there. Our mission is sending missionary church planters because that's how Jesus becomes known to the unreached. I invite you to leverage your praying and leverage your giving to help us plant the church within walking distance of every village on the planet. You see, you can save a soul and you can transform an entire village by sending an indigenous church planter. This is how we change the world.